This is essentially what police say they believe that he was doing, was rummaging through bags, looking for valuables, going from pocket to pocket until he could find something. They say they had been working on this case for several months, and they set up a sting and finally caught this bag handler red-handed. This morning at all, we have not heard back from them, at least in the last 2 or 3 minutes that I've been on air. As you can hear in the background, as this situation is going off, that was gunfire of some sort. Something has occurred as we were speaking live on air. That is the house that, of course, that police have been surrounding since 1:24 this morning. Are there any fuels in there? Because we saw some trucks parked near that area.
There's neighboring propane tanks, and every truck holds about 300 gallons of diesel fuel.
The adultery. Was there adultery?
Yes, I was unfaithful to my wife. I believe we have to come to a place to realize that it doesn't matter the magnitude of the leader. He's still human. And people act out of character. They make mistakes.
Bishop Rick Hawkins isn't short on words or mistakes. In fact, the 52-year-old has many words for his wrongs.
The why question rings ever so clear for the man who has success in every area, and he wakes up one day and he looks in the mirror and goes, "Who are you?"
He was a face, voice, and leader. A bustling small storefront assembly turned megachurch on San Antonio's northwest side.
The hand of the Lord was upon me and he took me there.
People saw the charismatic preacher in the pulpit. He says they didn't see the dead man walking behind the scenes. His wife, based on his accounts, suspected he had a dark secret.
And now look at what I have seen.
The rumors started to rumble as loud as his sermon.
Some of it was true.
Right.
Some of it was not true.
Not true, right.
Right. Okay, so let's find out what's true and what's not true.
Okay.
The adultery. Was there adultery?
Yes, I was unfaithful to my wife. And, you know, in ministry, and that just happens to be my occupation, there's always that warning of you have to watch out for the gold, the girls, and the glory.
You're the preacher man. You're not supposed to make those kinds of mistakes.
Yeah.
You're a Christian man. Those are the things that you have overcome. Mm-hmm. How did those things overcome you?
The system demands more of you than God does. The system says judgment.
There were also accusations of you using your counseling sessions with church members for sexual gratification.
That's absolutely not true. That is unequivocally not true.
Was there money given to church members to cover up an affair?
If I say yes, then we've satisfied your agenda, which is to create curiosity to watch this spot. Hold on, let me finish.
No, if
I say no, then you're going to say, then what exactly happened, and we're going to have to elaborate on that.
The father of two, who split with his wife because of his transgressions, eventually told me no cover-up ever took place. He has written a book called The Wall about those trying years. He insists it's a spiritual roadmap away from destructive behavior.
It is a time where you feel like you have lost hope, you have lost the will to keep going on.
The hand of the Lord was upon me and he took me there.
But who could trust a philandering preacher whose appetite for women was once unsatisfied? Sometimes it's hard to comprehend, Hawkins told me.
When you have power and control and you're in a place of authority, you can get so confused because people, women, for example, are not necessarily even, they are not even have the gravitational pull to your look anymore. It's just the position you have. And so I made mistakes. You know, I messed up there.
He claims he made his scars visible and wants to reveal how his wall solidified his standing as a servant of God.
People would say that you fell from grace. Is that a term that you would use?
I've heard that term, but you can't, that's impossible. And I'm very sorry for all the pain that I've caused anyone in this earth. I really feel bad about that, but I feel real good that I'm healed and I'm over it.
Marvin Hurst, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
Of course, you know, the president didn't get an opportunity to make any speeches here in Dallas, Texas 50 years ago because he was cut down from that building just across the street, the depository right behind me there. But there is a UTSA professor, Ethan Wicker, who had 2 years to research and essentially give birth to 72 pages that pay tribute to JFK.
As a composer, you spend a lot of time by yourself, like thinking about music, thinking about pieces. It can be a solitary exercise.
Dr. Ethan Wicker has his own place on the stage when it comes to composing music.
Composing is like uncovering kind of like a sonic universe. It's like, what is the sound world of how this feels?
Just in his 40s, the University of San Antonio assistant professor was commissioned to do a tribute to President John F. Kennedy this past February. It had to be a marriage of music and words.
And I realized that there are aspects of the Kennedy presidency that anyone can find meaningful. And so I tried to go deeper than the politics and find the speeches that best would inspire all of us to be better public servants and work more for the public.
The result was 5 chronological movements called Let the Word Go Forth. Movement 1 was Kennedy's inauguration speech.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Then there was the president's We're Going to Space speech at Rice.
Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon.
To follow Kennedy's televised civil rights address on June 11th, 1963.
If an American, because his skin is dark, cannot eat lunch in a restaurant open to the public.
And then words from Berlin.
The fighting spirit of West Berlin.
Freedom is indivisible, and when one man is enslaved, all are not free.
The portion about his death came virtually without a word, just music, until someone recalled one of the president's favorite pieces of Shakespeare. First Lady reportedly gave it to Robert Kennedy for the 1964 Democratic Convention.
When he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars.
And he shall make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun.
Dr. Ethan Wicker composed the performance, but it was President John F. Kennedy who provided the character for the stage.
And historians would be divided on just how effective the presidency was, but there's no question that his call to public service and inspiring young people in particular was, I think, in American culture still unmatched.
Dr. Wicker had the honor of presenting that piece, Let the Word Go Out, to the Kennedy Center earlier this year to nearly 2,000 people. What an honor for him, what an honor for San Antonio, and of course, our coverage will continue here live in Dallas.